Hello everyone, I am PyroFalkon, you are watching PyroFalkon's Let's Play Extravaganza, where it's your Let's Play too, and this is Surviving Mars, a really cool colony builder game that came out earlier this year, that is earlier 2018, and apparently it had kind of a rough start, but now it's amazing, and it's become my newest addiction, and I bought the game with my own money, so I'm not being paid by anyone to say that. I'm just going to kind of jump into it, although I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown of some of the options we have at our disposal, because this game is highly replayable and has a ton of different features. So here is the mission setup, as you can see. So the mission sponsor is how much money you start with, how fast your science comes, and a few things like that. I'm going to go a little bit difficult and choose the Church of the New Ark, which means we're going to have a little bit of a religious cult sort of thing happening on Mars. But the cool thing is, as you can see in that pop-up box, all colonists have the religious trait. What that means is they're not going to kill themselves, and I have a little bit of trouble keeping my colonists alive sometimes. But unfortunately, they don't give us any research by default, so that's what makes it hard. And then there's a commander profile, which tells us, which gives us another perk of the game. And I am going to choose, I already came up with most of what I wanted to do early on. I think I'm going to go with this one, the rocket scientist, because getting shuttles early is good. And then for the company logo, I'm picking Mr. Handy, which is the drones. They're freaking adorable. And then the mystery is really cool. Mystery is an overarching issue that's going to happen to your colony. And although you can choose one manually, you can also choose random. In my first file, I have St. Elmo's Fire, but I finished it. My second file has Metatron. Good to know that that's apparently the hardest one. Great. But we're going to pick a random one, and it chooses one at random that you have not seen before, which is very cool. And then in game rules, these are all the things you can tweak and change. For this, I'm not going to do any of this, but these rules are going to be pretty fun to play around with, like random technologies or faster rockets. They can make the game much easier or harder, but this should be good enough. And we are going hydroponic farms performance reduced by 50? What? Oh god, this is gonna be very hard. All right, let's do this. Now we pick our opening payload, and I always think that orbital probes are garbage. Let's see what we got here. A drone hub, a moisture vaporator, fuel refinery, and a Stirling generator for power. Transporter. I don't get an explorer to start off. Oh my god, this is so hard. Drones. Oh my gosh. This is so much harder than my other colonies. Oh well, we're gonna give it a shot. Let's try it. Now we can select a landing site, and I want to pick one that has minimal threats because of how hard this is going to be. These icons give you sort of ones that you can look at, but pre-made areas you can try to go for, but you can land anywhere you want. Okay, after poking around, Xanth Alpha looks really good because although it doesn't have a whole lot of concrete, it has tons of metal, tons of water, and very few threats other than a rare occasional meteor storm. I'm good with that. Hopefully that will keep us alive. So the overall goal of the game is to simply build a stable colony. It does not have an actual end goal. It does have a checklist of goals to try to pursue. So we'll try to do those, and we'll see how this goes. If you enjoy this game, don't forget to leave likes, subscriptions, and all that jazz down in the bottom. Especially the likes, though, and give me a comment whether you want to see more of this, because we're going to do 8 episodes for now, and if it has a lot of...
Welcome to Mars.
Hi. If it has a lot of positive reaction, we'll keep going. All right, so here we go. We have to land somewhere. We're going to land in the one section we can see, which is here, which has a whole lot of nothing. That's not good. This is really not a good place to start. Okay. Well, time to land. Oh boy, I did not realize it would be this hard. The easiest part of the game, the easiest sponsor of the game gives you a shit ton of money. It gives you like $70 billion. Right now I have $2 billion, which is not a tremendous amount for this. So, all right. Well, I'm not going to bother picking anything to research right now because we're just getting started. So here is our army of vehicles and cars and everything. I love the drones. They are cute. They make little noises. They are adorable. And the game tries to guilt you when you quit the game because it says, the drones need you. They look up to you. Don't go away yet. It's so not fair. All right, so we need to build our drone hub kind of close to the concrete maker. Let's see. So I've gone through the tutorials, so I basically know what I'm doing in this game. Although, again, I haven't tried one this hard before, so I don't know how tough this is going to be. Our checklist is here. We need to produce 50 food, have 10 founders at 90 comfort. That seems like a big difficulty. The founders are the 10 people, or however many, who arrive first. Have 20 Martian-born by the end of Sol 50. 40 electronics. 120... Oh my gosh, those are very difficult objectives. Jeez. Some of them I won't be able to do, I don't think. Oh, man. Alright. Shit. Load all the resources. I'm sorry I misclicked. There will likely be a lot of time skips in this because in Surviving Mars there is a lot of waiting around when you try to get things accomplished, but luckily there is a speed up button so we can hurry things along as necessary, as you can see there. So this little dealie is our power generator. It has special properties because even though it does not produce very much power, it does not take damage unless a meteor lands on it, or but it doesn't cost anything to just generally operate unless we open it up. So we're just going to leave it there. It sort of serves as a battery, and it will be good for our drone hub. So the next thing we need to do is start producing concrete. Now, this gray border that is around our that gray border that is around the device it indicates the amount of dust that it kicks up, and dust is our big enemy. So we want to make sure dust stays away from our thing. I wish I could keep the border up while I'm trying to place objects, but unfortunately it doesn't let me because I want to place a solar panel specifically for the concrete extractor. That way it is only operating during specific times of the day and not whenever it wants to. Let's see. Let's put this right about... Is my cursor showing up? Oh, god damn it. I don't have my cursor showing up. Hold on. Everybody hold on. Like, it has that thing that bothers me, a defocus mute, so even though the game's going, I clicked outside the window so it's not making noise. There we go. Now you can see my cursor. Alright, let's put a solar panel, I believe here is where it can go. Yes, that's just outside the range. And then we'll run a power line to it. So, one thing I would like to shout out is a special fan who watched me play this a little on Twitch. The fan goes by the name of Tiny Inky, if I remember correctly, if that person is watching here. Thanks a lot for some assistance that you gave me. The power lines, for example, are not necessary for objects when they are next to each other. Like here you can see a very thin power line between the battery, the Stirling generator that is, and the drone hub. So that's fine. But you do need a power line when they're more than 1 hex away. And it's easier and cheaper to keep the power cable maintained than it is for the solar panel, which accumulates dust and such. Where are you guys going? Why are you not building my thing? It's not outside the range of the drone hub, so I don't know what you guys are doing. The crap? What? Why? You guys have plenty of metal. What is wrong with you? Oh, here they come. I see. They were pulling the metal out of the stones here rather than grabbing it from the stockpile. The drones may be cute, but they are sometimes irritating. But they know how to do their jobs. And one of the things that I love are tiny things holding big things. So seeing tiny things holding these large things make me very happy. Also, they do... Whoa. Careful, game. They also do these weird little Jedi mind trick kind of hand motions to build things, which makes me immeasurably happy. And here we go. We have power. So now the concrete generator will start operating, and you can control when your machines operate. So I disabled the night shift. That's from 2200 hours to 600 hours. And that means it will not operate at night, which is fine because it will only be powered by the solar generator. I am not putting a battery on any of this or anything like that. The cool thing about this game is it's all about efficiency. You want everything to be done as quickly and smoothly and simply with as few moving parts as possible, because that gets you the most... Oh God. That gets you the most benefits? Efficiency? I don't know. Alright, so we don't know where any resources are on the map. This is our entire land. This is actually pretty flat. In both my other colonies, there are large plateaus. You have to do some fancy crap to get around. So we need to find water. Although we have a water machine, sort of like this, where it just magically generates water, we're going to need a water machine, a water deposit in order to really start, almost said creating life, but allowing human life here on Mars. So, our next purchase is a sensor tower, which we will place directly next to the battery as well, or the Stirling generator. I keep calling it a battery. It's a battery and a power source, essentially, since it never stops. So, I guess it's not a battery. It's just a power source, a magical power source. Hi, I'm PyroFalkon. I've been doing this for 7 years. Alright, so, meanwhile, our little transport truck is just sucking in metal himself, and he'll deliver it here. We're going to have some large stockpiles. In fact, I could probably make those stockpiles now. We're going to have a concrete stockpile and a metal stockpile. We'll have more eventually. But that way we can gather everything up, and it will be all good for the whole colony. Oh man, this game is relaxing. There are multiple audio channels, by the way. Radio stations. There are... Come on. There are... I should probably turn off autosave in case something breaks on me. But I'm on the official Mars channel. It's very trancy. Sometimes you'll hear a DJ, which is kind of funny. By the way, this game was developed by the same developers... Sure, we'll make it. Oh, I can just turn it the hell off. Ha 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 ha. Okay. This game was developed by the same developers who made Tropico 3, 4, and 5. Not 1 or 2, but Tropico 3, 4, and 5, along with other city builder-like games, which is fantastic. These guys really know what they're doing. And it was published, of course, by Paradox, who has made such great games as Crusader Kings 2, Victoria. Was it called Victoria? It was called Victoria 2? Whatever. Anyway. Games that I want to play, but always make me feel dumb when I try to play them. So it is what it is. Okay, so our sensor tower is operational, and it can run 24/7 since it's hooked up to the Stirling generator. And not only can it scan other sectors for additional supplies, but it will warn us if there is a disaster approaching. Right now, we just need to scan for supplies. So I'm seeing if there's... It says high chance the sector contains concrete and metals, but I don't see water anywhere. So I'm just going to have to take a stab in the dark. We'll just queue up a bunch of sectors around us and see what happens. It'll take a while, but there's nothing else we can do in the meantime. I mean, for scanning purposes. What we can do, generally speaking in the meantime, is we can build our water generator, or at least start scouting for places to set up our first colony, but I guess I can't really do that either because I need some intel about what is around me. So I'm going to do a time skip now because there's not much more I can do until the sensor tower does its job. Luckily, I don't think anything's going to happen until then. I could plop this thing down in the middle of nowhere, but it's best if I have some additional... screw it. This is for the show, so I don't mind taking a few risks rather than making sure everything is perfect. Let's put down a dome. So our first dome is going to be 10 polymers. That's all I have. I only have 10 polymers. Oh my gosh. Okay. Holy crap. I have so few resources right now. It's killing me. We need a water thing so we can fuel the tank. Oh, that's what we should do. We should fuel our rocket. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is build the moisture vaporator. We'll attach it right next to here as well. Create a stockpile for fuel. And I need a fuel maker. Luckily, all these buildings were prefabs, which means we already have the stuff to make them. Most buildings will cost you resources. Early on, you have a few buildings that will help you out without resource cost, which is great. But we will be on our own soon-ish. Alright, let's place the fuel refinery here. We'll run a pipe.
You're listening to Mars Official Radio with Penna Masculine, your first radio host choice with the best radio voice.
You have the best radio voice. And we'll run power lines. And our RC transport truck has collected all the nearby metals. So he'll come home and drop them off. Nothing in EO. Okay. Hopefully we'll find something soon. Okay, so... let's see. That requires 1 water, and my moisture vaporator is only a half water, and it's no longer working. Why are you no longer working? Because we need more power. Oh, God. Alright, hold on a minute. Let's get rid of this. We'll hook up a solar panel to our fuel maker instead. So our fuel maker can only operate during the day. And we'll create a water tank, which I believe, only takes water, or metal rather. No power, there we go. That should do it. And our little truck can start looking around for more metal as well. Man, none of my other colonies have resources this tight. This is, and I'm intentionally choosing a somewhat difficult scenario for the show. And holy crap, maybe I went a little too far with it. Alright, so now that we have some concrete, we have 10 pieces of concrete. You can even see our resources at the top. We have 12 total because some is presumably inside the concrete extractor at the moment. We're going to produce a landing pad, or build a landing pad. So, the planet of Mars is very dusty, and that dust gets into everything and everywhere, which is why this gray border here around this machine exists. We want to keep everything away from that. The ship is the same way. You can see it has a gray border. Whenever it takes off and lands, it kicks up a crap ton of dust just everywhere. And we don't want that dust getting into our machines. Everything has a maintenance cost, and that maintenance cost adds up in this game. It is very hard to get resources early on without having to spend a butt ton of money. So, we need to minimize those risks, and in this case, that wow, there is just no resources. What that means here is we need to build ourselves a landing pad, which is made of concrete and does not require any maintenance. And the best part is whenever a ship lands or takes off, it does not produce dust. So we've got our basic, very basic infrastructure operational, and I am out of time for this episode. So in the next episode, we will likely get our ship fueled up, and we will continue to look around for additional sites for what will become our first dome, which will hopefully come sooner than later. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, a share, all that jazz down in the bottom, especially comments so I know that you like this series. It's going to be nice and chill throughout the whole thing. And we do have Discord, Patreon, PayPal, Twitter, Facebook, all sorts of other things in the video description. Just hit that see more button down below the video player thingy, and those links will be there. Discord is free to get in. I'm there all the time. Come in, chat with us. Chat. I'm so lonely. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode.